Just like that. All right, so we did a poll. I'm gonna go ahead and put this away. We are gonna go. We did a poll where one of the questions asked was, what do you want to see next? A stock DR650 on a trail was one of the main things. But one of the other things that, and it comes up a lot, like you see it on forums, are that people want to see, can you camp, and especially can you two-up camp on the DR. My wife, she's 5'10", 150, and I'm 6'4", 238. I don't know if you can hear over that or not. I'm hoping the purple panda's canceling it out. I'll go ahead and do this. But this is our setup. I did have to take this GV pad off, but there is plenty of room along here, and I am still using this Wirtz wire down and below peg, but this is a stock peg, stock suspension, stock tires. You can see they're actually, the trail wings, and they're a little bit worn down. The fronts look great. I actually haven't had problems. These, as bad as people say they are on trails, they're excellent on the road. Don't buy this fender. I love ProCycle, I love you, but I will never buy this fender from you again. A J&S headlight, of course. The only thing, I do have this. For the most part, we're on a stock setup. We are boiling right now. So what we're gonna do is there are two little trails, and they're trails that'll challenge the bike, but they're not long. Nobody wants to sit and watch 30 minutes of a freaking trail ride. We just want to see some of the capability and demonstrate it. So this is a ride from the poll questionnaire. So I'll move around, I'll hop on and let Liv hop on. And by the way, this service station right here is incredible. It's a local service station, really popular service station. You see a lot of locals come in and use it. It's set up, and it operates a lot like the 50s. Even the pricing's fair. What you had worked on your car here, incredibly reasonable price. They come out, they fill your gas up. But yeah, two up. Here we go. So we are going to have to take some road to get to the first trail. My apologies to you at Gats. We are short on time today. It's early July. It's hotter than freaking balls where we're at. We're going to cut up this little avenue right here, and not very far down the avenue is the first challenging trail that we're going to come across. And what we're going to do, we're going to wind up at one of our favorite haunts. It's a really cool place. It's called Terror on the Coast, and they put a really high production value into it. First things first, I barely notice on a 650 my passenger. I'm not going to turn around and look. I'm sitting fairly forward on the seat, which I've heard is actually more appropriate on a dual sport bike. I'm not claiming to be an expert on that, but I am sitting a little closer to the tank with her on it. But with the Wirtz kit, I'm fine. And even with these stock handlebars, now I have a set of Renthals coming on, but then that wouldn't be a stock trail ride on this bike. I'll also have the Rocks anti-vibrizers, and then I do want to change to most likely a Scout K60 tire when the trail wings do finally bite the dust, which it looks like the rears are going to go first, and I might hang on to that front tire just as an emergency tire down the road. But here we are coming up. We're closing in on the very first little hidden section of trail, which I believe starts right here, and it looks like it's grown up a lot. Boy, do I hope we're right about this. Okay, so two up on the trail through here. You'd never even know it was here. Now, one thing I feel comfortable about, stock suspension. Now, I did set everything to the max, especially knowing that we have a second passenger. She's back there, so she's getting bounced around. She's definitely going to tell you about it, but it kind of eats it, man. Look at this. Woo! All right, first time with a leg down. If I'm a rich man one day, I'm going to buy the Nova racing kit, but we're cutting through all of this with first gear. And if anyone was wondering what I meant by the Nova Racing Kit, that's actually, it drops your first and second ratio down a little bit lower. That's where I cut in last time. It drops your first and second gear ratio down lower, and then 3, 4, 5 are higher. And I think the difference is 13% from top to bottom of a ratio difference in gear. Look, let's pull up this hill. You can't see it as good on the cam, but whoop, right on up, go down into a divot. Thank God it's dry in Mississippi. Woo! How does it handle 2 up? Good. There's a lot of people, and they ride better than we do. I'm not a great expert rider, so if you are a newer rider and you're considering this bike, think about this. Look what I'm doing on this bike, and I don't have to go through miles and miles of shit. Just a tiny little bit can show you the same thing, because it's going to be redundant if I do this for 20 miles. But newer riders thinking about this bike's capable as hell, dude. And the difference between this and the DR650 is going to be marginal, except you're going to have an 18-inch rear tire and a road bike you want to see in the grass. Cuts right through the grass. I am not struggling on this bike one bit. We are floating on the bumps on stock suspension. I'm going to wave to everybody. I'm sure the airport's going to lose their freaking mind over this. Here, take a few hills. Go over some stuff. Here's a little bit of gnarly shit right here. I would love to know how it looks on camera. Let's take some hills. But I mean, this is stock, bone stock. Imagine what you could do solo. I love it. You hear the squeakity squeak? That's because my boss won't let me park my freaking bike in the engine bay. That was in second gear going through there, by the way. Trail 2 will actually be more of a breeze. Left blinker, plenty of room. Here is your airport. I'm going to close the screen back up just so you can hear me a little better. That's the next location. So we're going to ride at this fence right here and just do a quick little spin around. And then once we're done, we're going to turn around, we're going to shoot, and we're going to park at our favorite haunt and get some final thoughts. But this thing eats, man. Let me tell you, you don't have to have the best tires and the best suspension and all that shit. Especially, we're not running motocross races. A lot of people, and I agree with them, if you're doing BDR or if you're riding like what's his face, the really cool channel, God, Everride, you might need the Cogent, and you might want the cartridges, and you might want the D606s, but it's a commuter bike for me, and I mostly just commute with it. Nothing crazy, but you can buy this bike stock and not piss away thousands of dollars. You don't have to worry. A lot of things we convince ourselves we need, we don't. Right turn. Thank you, Red Camaro, for paying such sweet attention to us behind me. I always worry about getting rear-ended. It's certainly one of the more unique videos we've ever had. Going back off-road again. And then this would be like a nice grassy trail. There's no real, even on the trail wings, big bump. We did not bottom out. Did you feel a bottom out? Oh, right there. Yeah, it's kind of like a float over and a bounce. I wouldn't so much call it a bottom out per se. Look right here. There's definitely a bottom out right there, which we're dodging. Yeah. I definitely feel like the king of the world. Shit. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. We'll have to check that out. Oh, look at this. The hidden things you never know. Somebody's got a little fishing hole right there. Check them out. That is too damn cool. Amazing. First gear, by the way, if you want to do some serious trail riding, you can definitely get away with it. This might cut us around here. My wife has a trail, and she actually may take her trail back this way soon. I'm just waiting on the sheriff's department to just come and just attack us at any moment. Yeah, this is definitely some like good riding land. It handles this grass well, but remember, don't forget, don't lose sight of the fact that we're riding 2 up on a DR650. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. You want to cut, we can cut to the other side, but I think they would be on that ass if they saw us running that gate. Yeah. I'm waiting on like a loudspeaker. Oh, look at me leaving my blinker on. That's just giddy excitement for getting to turn my shit off. The camera's not picking up a lot of the bumps very well. You might be able to hear it in my voice. I could only, this thing with some severe, like not severe, some moderate suspension upgrades. Oh my God, you really wouldn't need much more. I think people buy these bikes and they're like, shit, it's not enough. There's no power. Whoop, big bump. There's no power. I need a Tenere 700. I need a GS. Woo! Let's see if we can power out. Oh, hold on. No. Stall. We went second gear. All right, let's see. I think we can do it. I think this thing just muscles right out of it. Yeah. I need a big power KTM. No, you don't. This bitch right here will get it done. And before anybody makes fun of me, remember, I'm not Travis Pastrana. I'm a mid-level road commuter. But I do love what this bike can do. And if anything, I'm showing what the average Joe can probably do on it. And then just for shits and giggles, there, I'll take one last little bit of off-road right here. This will be the part where I get a nail in my tire. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh my God. Okay, let's check and see, make sure we're clear. And we're off. Yeah. Early July in Mississippi, early mid-July in Mississippi. This feels good going down the road, but it's hot as a son of a bitch when you stop. We are going to start freaking roasting here when we stop at our little favorite spot. Now, they will destroy you if you ride on this. There's signs like piss off, like motorcyclists will be shot dead, and those survivors of the shooting will be shot again. And then when you have a passenger on, you will feel some of the earlier shifts. Looks like I'm in 5th. Yeah, I'm gonna drop down, make a little less strain on the bike. Man, you can have a grand old time with this thing though. But just imagine, so I have 152 pounds, stock suspension, stock handlebars, which these things are apparently like just rolled aluminum foil. They're supposed to be so shitty. I cannot wait to show you the Rentals when they get installed. But the Works wire is really the only mod I have, and I'm 6'4". So for the average rider to sit on the average pegs of, you're 5'10", you're gonna get almost the same exact experience. But imagine you alone on this bike, and there's a great comparison on YouTube that compares this with an XR650, and this is not a knock on an XR650, by the way. I know I've mentioned it a couple times, but that bike is freaking outstanding. I sat on one of them. The only thing I didn't like was it felt a little more top heavy than this bike. For the most part, I loved it. But I love the aftermarket for this bike, and it's a little bit more of a road bike, and I'm not as off-road orientated. Like even the next set of tires I get will probably be the Scouts, or even something like 60 road, 40 off-road, maybe even like I don't know if they make a 70-30, but I'll definitely go for a road bias tire. But it's so cool to just demonstrate like what it can do. Here we are nearing it. We love this place. So this is something, I don't know if anybody ever finds himself in the Gulf Coast area. But this is a great little place to go. They do a big Halloween event here this year. It's called Terror on the Coast. And by the way, I'd like to also thank the viewers. So I have some neck and back issues that limit my riding too, which is another big part of why you don't really see me go on any heavy off-road. I have some bad stenosis and injuries in my lower back and in my neck. I'm clear behind. Okay, good. But yeah, you can ride up here. This is a cool little thing we like. We like to go and check it out. And we'll park here. There's like coffins and shit, but they opened this whole warehouse, which is really awesome. Very cool spot. Very Rob Zombie vibes. This old factory is not part of it, but it's like free scenery. And it's actually an active factory, which makes it even better. But oh, what a cool freaking place to end this video. So, oh yeah, I'm sure people were definitely getting after it. Like always in a video, people say show the bike, so we will show the bike too. Wow, and we were covered in sweat now, aren't we? So yeah, so it's our local haunt. The DR did stay pretty. It did stay nice and pretty. Very proud of that. If you have any more questions about this, if you think that maybe, like, this is getting a little worn out from the sun, if you want to see some more off-road, something more intense, as I develop my skills, I do need to do some physical therapy on my back. But I will be adding some stiffer springs eventually, possibly a cartridge. Someone told me that this front fork dive can be a pain in the butt. And also I will consider a cogent towards the rear. Oh, for your passenger too, this GVE43 Intima AL, I take the pad off for her, which gives her plenty of room. She can actually recline back this way. But the next ride is going to be the Chairbeast 20 liter. I think that's the 5.3. We're going to have a Renthal bar on here, and we're going to have 2-inch rocks risers. And that's pretty much it. But hey man, ladies, gentlemen, I don't want to take up all your day, but people looking for this bike are curious. What can it do? We just went through some decently gnarly shit. If it was muddy.
For me on the back.
What's that?
It was still very floaty for me on the back, even hitting.
Did you feel the bottom out?
I felt it, and I'll tell you that our rear.
Oh, yeah, very important. Also, we made the adjustments right here, so we did a full turn in right here, and then we did one rotation back. But yeah, so it was bouncy.
But it wasn't.
But you can do it.
Just this. If I had held on to this during the bottom out.
Yeah, I would say moral of the story is you can get to the campsite on a stock DR. And if you pack light, and especially if you got some side bags, I'd say you and one other would be all right. Would I say 2 up across the whole of North, Central, and South America? Probably not, but look for the trail video next. Anyway, listen, we're halfway to 500 subscribers. I want to thank everybody for watching. We have more content coming, and it's actually going to be her content because it's going to be the trail. But until then, enjoy and peace out.